What's up? Want to welcome y'all to 400D TV. Yo, this my man.
Big Marv, what's up with you?
I'm Tez, and man, we want to thank y'all for watching. Yo, if you haven't, push the subscribe button, leave a comment, share, like, and man, we gonna contact y'all. We gonna be in contact with y'all anyway. But anyway, man, we want to thank y'all again for watching another episode of 400D TV. 400D is where the offense is guaranteed to be offensive, because we know that's what the truth does. The truth offends people, but we're gonna keep it truthful on this channel. So today's topic is, what has black people contributed to American society? We just gonna keep it on an entertainment level, because that's what we're pretty much known for, is entertainment. Yeah. Even though we got a lot of brains in the world, but we're particularly known for, you know, music and sports and acting, things that make other people feel good. Yeah. When they watch it. Yeah. So
yeah, we can keep it on sports, but you know, we got to bring up the things the contributions we've made to just science and learning itself that we never get credit for. You know, you have to go and Google or research black inventors to realize, oh shit, I didn't know that black folk invented this. A lot of things that we use on an everyday basis in our house was first thought of from the mind. I almost lost my candy in case y'all saw that. It was thought of from the mind of a black man or a black woman.
Absolutely.
And it's so unfortunate that they always bury it or put it in the back seat and act as if we didn't make any major contributions. Right. Sad but true.
That's very sad.
But we was talking about entertainment.
Entertainment?
Man, we are the seasoning to America like a motherfucker.
We that slap your mama.
Yeah.
If you ain't never tasted it, get it.
Yeah, that's
we slap your mama.
Some of that.
Without black people in the entertainment field, we just gonna keep it entertainment. Without black people in the entertainment field, man, it would be horrible. Everything here would be horrible. I'm telling y'all, it would be 100% horrible. Because as much as we contribute, we don't really recognize it, even amongst ourselves, because it's so commonplace now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're just doing what we do.
Yeah.
But everybody else be so fascinated by us. You know, you hear these stories of black women. You know, you hear, you know, can I touch your hair?
I just seen a video with that.
Yeah, so did I. I don't remember who it was. The man wanted to just touch her hair. Or white women were fascinated that she had cornrows in her hair. Can I touch it?
You know, when I used to have like real long dreadlocks, y'all. And I was in a grocery store one day, and I was standing in line, and this white girl, she was just running. And I'm like, where is she coming to? And she got too close to me, and she went to touch my hair. And I said, man, you better not touch my hair, Joe. I'm like, man, I ain't your trophy.
Yeah.
Because that's how I interpret it. Like, you get to do what you want to do to me. Like, your damn mind. You better not touch me.
Yeah.
But go to your point.
Yeah. I mean, but you see so much that they be fascinated by the fact that, you know, y'all look so different and stylish, because how do you make yourself look so fabulous with those things? And you got, what is that? Those are cornrows. Oh, these are dreads. Or this is a Jerry curl. Oh, wow. You know, a Jerry curl. You know, they be so fascinated by us. But like we said, and we don't really trip on it, because we're just doing what we do. To me, I say it again, it's called the gift. This is just something God gave us on when I'm gonna bring you into the world, here's your gift. So you're gonna realize your gift, because a lot of people are gonna try to imitate you, which is what they do to us. They imitate just about everything we do, especially in entertainment. Football, baseball, basketball, movies, singing, dressing, dancing. I think, man, you touched on this once before about, if you pay attention to young white kids, whether it's male or female, you don't really see them imitating these white artists from the past or even now. The majority of the imitating people happen to be black men and black women.
I was just watching a video today where it was some white people. They was imitating the Kid and Play kick step, and I was just like,
doing it wrong.
They was doing it wrong. Of course, they was doing it wrong. They had to hold each other's hand and try to get some synchrony, some synergy between each other. I'm like, that's not how you do it. You know?
Oh man, I tell you what's funny now. Just about everybody's wedding, and you could Google weddings on your phone. and everybody doing the line dances. 2 steps now. Take it back now. I'm like, oh wow. Ain't nobody doing the motherfucking line dances where they doing that bullshit, you know. And maybe I should have called like the river dance. I shouldn't have called it that. But again, we're talking about black people adding flavor to America because our stuff just has a different feel, a different rhythm, a different energy.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
We are the spice to the world.
Absolutely.
And even to go back to the hair, I mean, like, we have the most diverse hair in the world. Yeah. We could do anything with our hair versus other people who just got to do it one thing.
Run to it.
They can't do everything that we can do with our hair. But yet we don't love our hair.
That's always been so amazing to me.
Our hair is the most diverse, and we can do the most with it. Yeah. But we don't love it because, of course, someone said it's nappy. Well, what the hell is nappy hair? Hair is hair. If it's nappy, that just means it's got extra tight curl. That's all it is. Yeah. I mean, like, my hair is loosely curled, you know, but it ain't nothing wrong with having that kind of hair. Yeah, that's your DNA.
But my hair is invisible curl. My bad. I had to say that bullshit. I had to say it. Shit. But I get what you're saying.
But we don't even appreciate, because we always try, like, remember in the movie Malcolm X? When he was like straight, just like them white folks. You know what I'm saying? Like man, we try to do everything to get rid of who we are, and we the focus on everything. What black people gonna do? And that's what make America great is what we're doing. You know why? And let me say this point, because we came from we still at the bottom, but to come from where we came from to be able to do the shit we doing. It's some amazing shit. Yeah,
and they know that you're not classified as the top race. But everybody pay attention to you. Again, that's the gift.
That's the gift.
That's the gift. That's not taught in school. It's the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you run, the way you walk backwards. Hell, we even trip with style. You ever see a motherfucker walk down the street and stumble? Then he looks back like, I mean, we just... we're good with all of that stuff. So, like you said, it's unfortunate how we don't realize how it's like we're trying to get out of the line that everybody else is trying to get in.
Yep.
You know, like you said, the imitating of the hair. You know, I mean, we set the fashion trends. I know they tried to. Well, this year polka dot. No, we ain't doing that bullshit. We set the standard for all of that. You know, we make most items #1 on the chart. You know, Timberland boots, all this stuff. If black folk ain't wearing it, you just a regular boot in the damn store.
Pretty much.
And then don't put it in a music video. It's over.
It's a wrap.
Or let the sports athletes, Nike. How did Nike become #1?
Michael Jordan.
Or black athletes.
Black athletes.
I remember when Nike was out back in the day when they really wasn't pumping leather shoes. They were that canvas material. And then all of a sudden, you know, they started getting into that basketball lane with the Dr. J, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird.
But they were wearing Converse.
Yeah, I apologize, they was wearing Converse. But when Jordan popped on the scene in that 83, 84, they ain't been different ever since, man.
I remember when I was a shorty, this had to be like 70s. They used to have Nikes and Jewels in the grocery store here called Jewels. They used to sell them like the little canvas Nike gym shoes.
And wasn't no flavor to them.
No flavor to them.
Basic Nike swoosh.
Yep.
And that's it.
That was it.
That's it.
They would sell them in a grocery store. That's how cheap they were. It was like they might as well have been on that generic aisle that had just sugar on the label. That's just how it should have been. But I mean, just to even go even further, let's talk about basketball for a minute. When I watched all them old games, like from the 60s, and I'm like, when there really wasn't no brothers on the floor, man, them games was mayonnaise as hell, man. They had to have, you know, what's my man name from the Celtics?
Larry Bird?
Not Larry Bird, the brother. He used to coach and play at the same time.
Was it Casey? It wasn't Casey Jones.
No, not Casey Jones. He was.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. Yeah. Like, Bill Russell wasn't an offensive dude, but his defense was tremendous. Yeah. But he brought an extra flair to the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when Wilt the Stilt come in, he bring flair to the game.
Yep.
Now the game starts to open up for more brothers to enter into the league. And I mean, because we were just saying this on camera, they was throwing free throws, and
underhanded,
tossing them.
Bullshit. Layup line like a motherfucker.
No dunking.
Wasn't nobody dunking.
You like,
and it's crazy because, don't get me wrong, I can't think of the gentleman's name who invented basketball.
Naismith.
Yeah, great. Basketball really wasn't on that other level until Black started getting into it.
I don't even think he invented it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he probably seen some young black children,
and they gave him credit for it.
And he was like, "What are they doing?"
Yeah,
and they, because you just when you in an impoverished condition, genius starts to arise.
Yep. You're very creative.
You'll start being creative to come out to make up your time to create something to waste time with. And I'm pretty sure some black children was shooting a hoop game, and it didn't have no name to it, and then all of a sudden, James Naismith invented basketball.
Give you this one, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Blacks invented hockey. Because you never hear about who started hockey. They'll probably tell you who owned the first team, but they never tell you, because from what I was told, hockey was kind of started by blacks. I think they escaped or they were up in Canada, but blacks started it. But it's the white sport. But you never read about that bullshit.
I never heard that before.
Yeah. Google it.
Wow.
Google it.
That is interesting.
Who started hockey, the beginning of hockey, and watch what you find.
That is interesting.
So the reason why I brought that up is because what you just said about my man creating basketball, again, maybe he saw somebody, that's interesting. And then they was playing with a motherfucking peach basket.
Right.
So again, you couldn't dunk on that because the game gonna be over.
Right. I mean, it could have been something where they were just throwing rocks into something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I don't think he himself just came up with this idea on his own. Yeah. I think he witnessed something and was like, man, that could be a sport right there. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this in defense of what Tez just said. Why don't you want to give him credit? I started off saying about education and inventions. Again, most people don't know who invented a lot of the shit that you use every day in your house.
Yep, that's true.
Refrigerator, the stoplight, all this stuff. I mean,
air conditioning.
I mean, major shit. We ain't talking about
broom.
Right. We ain't talking about little peon stuff. We talking about major stuff that people are making tons of money off of now. Even the music industry. You get these guys. I get it. And this has just always been a thing to me. Let's say if you're a creator of a camera. But if you don't know how to do nothing else except create cameras, but you don't know how to create magic, which is the story that needs to go with the camera, and I got the stories, you got the camera. If we come up with an idea, why we ain't splitting 50-50? Why do I get a little bullshit contract for $10 million, but you get to make $10 billion off of it? But without my idea, your camera is just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I say that because of the music industry. You hear about these cats with all these bad music deals. We all seen Unsung. Like, man, wait a minute, what happened to who? TLC, all these groups. I get it, they don't own the Sony record label or the Universal or whatever, but you mean to tell me when you get somebody like Jay-Z or DMX or whoever these cats are, I mean, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, you whatever lane you in, the rap lane or just the R&B lane or the smooth jazz, whatever, how do they get these little peon deals?
See, Prince said this a long time ago, and Prince said, the music business is 10% music and 90% business. It's actually called the business of music, not the music business. You know, so as a creator, most creators don't have the business mindset, and that's why they get played, because the business person know their role, the creator knows their role. It's very slim to none chance that the creator becomes the businessman. Because how that happens is because they got screwed. Yeah, they're like, oh, I ain't get that. I'm not doing this no more. You know, you made $10 million. I made $5. Yeah. You know, I was watching Dawn Robinson from In Vogue.
I saw that. Yeah,
and she was talking about how she got screwed over, and then they got mad at her because she was talking about the money and like she like, look, I just want to get paid. Yeah. If you got a $20 million mansion, why don't I even have a house? Exactly. I'm living in an apartment.
And let me say, I know I said a little peon contract. I didn't mean it in disrespect to the artist. I'm talking about the unfairness of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Which is what you're saying.
Right. But see, the only way to make it fair is that the artists have to know what the businessman knows. You got to know what they know, so that the contract. Because we got to be honest. These people are looking more at the fame instead of the fortune, where they're looking at fortune 100% of the time.
I get it. Folks, I give you this. Like the NBA today, they get better contracts now because of what LeBron them bring to the table.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. The NBA or the teams getting these lucrative TV contracts, but without that cold ass LeBron James, KD, Kyrie, etc., guess ain't watching the games like that. That's why I said it's got to be more fair, whereas it's 50-50 as opposed to, we're going to give you, like what you just said about old girl from In Vogue. You got a $20 million house, she living in a condo. How, when everybody's watching your music label because of the songs of these girls, which is the gift, you can't sing. I get it, you got the recording studio. I'm saying all that to say the game's got to be made a little bit fair as opposed to you getting 20 million and I get 500,000. No, now 500,000 is nice, but if your income, if your ending income is generated off of my singing, how I end up with 500,000 and you get 20 million? I ain't got no problem with you getting 20 million, but at least give me 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? See, I get it.
See, now the game is this though. You gotta. There's certain points that they used to get, right? So let's say, for instance, like Don Robin say that her producers, they split 2 points, right? So one get 1 point, another get another. But then they also get part of their points. Now they gotta split their points 4 ways plus their producers. So now the producers get the majority of the share of their points. Now they get the bottom half of whatever's left over, and they got to split it 4 ways. You know what I'm saying? So let's say they get 60% the producers, but they got to split 40%, 10% each.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, damn, ain't no money left. You know what I'm saying? But then she was talking about how, it was time to go in and renegotiate the contract on the second record, and they was like, no, let's not renegotiate because then they gonna lose their percentage.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be messing up a good thing. It's like, we ain't messing up a good thing because I'm getting paid, But this is how the game goes. It's a game at the end of the day. All of this is a game. All of it. And that's why this is the 400D. Because if you ain't playing fucking offense, you on defense too long and your ass is tired and you end up losing. And that's what we talking about. This is how you end up losing. Because you're playing defense. You're signing a contract not understanding what's on that contract.
I say this. I'm not trying to dumb down contracts, but I think that language should be used that everybody understands. It shouldn't be a 20-page contract. It's real fucking easy. Hey, okay, we signing you to Sony. You're gonna give me three songs. I mean 3 CDs. 3 CDs. Okay, cool. Within the 3 CDs, we agree that we're gonna possibly try to sell this. If we sell this, you'll get this. If we sell this, you'll get this. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't be 20, 30 pages with these big words that I gotta get you to explain to me as an adult. What does that word mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, simplify the verbiage on it so everybody can be understood. Again, everybody gets paid. I'm not trying to screw nobody out of money. I just think it's sad every time you watch Unsung and whoever the artist is, well, he started off hot, and 10 years later, he had to fight. He's my man from the Bill Cosby show. I don't know what he did with his money, but I don't know how.
Elvin?
Yeah, I don't know how he ended up back at the store. Now, some of them situations, it's on you as an individual, but these music contracts, NFL contracts, well, it ain't guaranteed. He signed a 4-year contract for $25 million. He got a $2 million signing bonus. Everything else is stipulated on if he hit these plateaus. But if they want to just cut you after year 2, they can cut you. The rest of that money ain't guaranteed. That's why the NBA and Major League Baseball is so much more lucrative and more people try to go that lane, because if LeBron got a 5-year, $130 million contract, he getting $130 million.
But see, why is he getting $130 million? Because that $130 million has insurance on it.
True.
It's guaranteed.
True.
Because it has a that insurance guarantees that contract. In football, there's no insurance on these players. So therefore, it ain't guaranteed. But see, that's playing defense. Most people are chasing after the bag and they're not looking in the long term. And that's why we keep running into the same situation over and over, and ain't nobody saying, hey, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And you gotta go, I should have to go do it, you go do it. You know what I mean? That's bogus as fuck to me.
But I think part of that comes from because how society is, and so many people have never had before. So when you got the opportunity to sign a bad contract, and a bad contract gonna be more money than your family ever made, most people gonna sign a bad contract. Oh, I can sign this contract and I'm gonna make $2.5 million. Then 5 years later, you kind of find out that the people that's running the stuff over here, they made $500 million. Now you mad at them motherfucker. Now the 2.5 look good because you know you came from working at whatever 7-Eleven. So of course 2.5 million looks good, but you get pissed off because the game is so unfair how everything is worded. Well, again, 5 years from now, you kind of find out off of my singing and my creativity and my practice dance moves and me going on stage and I'm singing and performing when I'm sick. They made another 100 million and I just got 2. Now, you know, I mean, what do you do? What do you do with that? You see what I'm saying? Again,
the issue is, like you said, we coming from an environment where we ain't never seen that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was watching, and maybe it was a 30 for 30 or something like that, and one of the football players was like, I don't know how we go from, man, we was in college, we was sleeping on cots, and then we get these big contracts, now we act like we can't have what we came from no more. It's like, that don't make no sense to me. Like, it makes sense to save that money to invest in something long term, because you ain't gonna play football or no professional sports or be a singer all your career. You're not gonna be a recording artist your whole entire life. You're not. At one point, it's gonna become a time where you're gonna slow down, because everyone slows down. But no one is thinking into the future. No one. Because they thinking about right now. Now, who did good with their money was my man Monster Mash. He used to play with the Charlotte Hornets. Jamal Mash. He did real good with his money. He did real good with his money.
And some people actually want to listen. Again, it's just free information to this test called they're trying to screw you in the game of life. And again, like you said, how do you all of a sudden forget that, man, you know, you just came from the projects and it was 4 of y'all sleeping in a room with bunk beds. So like you said, how do you freak out and you got 3 million and now you're gonna spend 2 million on
clothes and a crib and cars and like all this shit that don't matter at the end of the day.
And we gotta quit doing that, because I think I may be off a little bit on the numbers. I think the life expectancy of NFL players, I think it's like 2 years, maybe 3. So you come in and pose at 23. By 26, they ain't looking for you to be there no more, because the game is so violent. It is so violent and so demanding that it's crazy. This is why it doesn't make sense that he signed a 4-year contract worth 20 million. You know what I'm saying? So that's 5 million a year. After year 2, we don't want him no more, and he didn't hit these numbers that we thought. So he didn't get the 2 million this year. He only made 1,200,000. So we get to keep the other millions that we're not gonna give him. We don't want no more. Oh, by the way, he done tore up his knee and everything. Now he working at Walgreens. It's a cold game.
It's a cold game.
So in saying that, I mean, how do you treat the people that brings the booties to the seats to come and watch all of this? Again, we go back to what the title is. We are the flavor of all of this.
We the flavor.
That's why I'm like, I don't get it how we keep getting these bad contracts. I mean, something in the game's got to be done a little different. We got to restructure some things where people can kind of receive a little bit more of what they deserve, as opposed to what I want you to have. Because what you want me to have ain't fair.
That's a good transition. I got a question I want to ask you. So, I'm going to ask you, hypothetically.
Yeah.
So, say for instance, you meet a young lady and y'all want to go on a date, right? So y'all set up the date. You tell her what time you're going to come by. What time she should be ready. What y'all going to do and everything. So, when you get there, she's not ready. When you get there, she hasn't fed her child, right? So if she comes and asks you, can you run her to McDonald's to get her daughter something to eat so y'all can go out?
Okay.
So she introduces her daughter to you on the very first date. Then you go to McDonald's. You put it. She tell you what to order for. You order it for her. You pull up to the window, and then she said, "You gonna pay for it?"
Okay.
What would you do in a situation like that?
I'm probably gonna be a little disappointed because when I get to your house, you're not ready. And then this is our first date, so nobody being phony first date, so you're trying to impress each other. So now I kind of find out that you're not prepared. Not only are you not prepared, you haven't even prepared your kid. So now we gotta take your kid to get something to eat. And by the way, very first date of meeting your kid, which I should not be meeting your kid on the very first date. That's another strike to me. To me. So is there 3 strikes?
That's 3 strikes. But we ain't done yet. Though.
Right. Normally you out, but we're gonna give 4 strikes. Now you want me to pay for your kid's food that I shouldn't met. I should have never met. I shouldn't have met your kid, your son or your daughter. I shouldn't have met him. On top of that, very first date, and you asking me to pay for your kid's food. So it also shows me that you bad with time. You're not good at organizing, because even if you don't have time to cook, by the way, who's about to watch this kid that you have not prepared? So the kid got to be, I'm guessing, under the age of 10. So who's going to watch the kid? So even if you didn't have food cooked for the kid, you mean whoever's going to watch the kid, you can be like, hey, mama, do you mind feeding little mama some whatever, because I kind of ran bad with the time. I should have never known that you didn't feed your kid. Now you want me to pay for your kid's meal. That means we got to go and drop your kid off, because somebody got to watch the kid. That's kind of, for a first date, to me, that'd be kind of like, I'd be kind of like,
What if you found out that she went on a podcast and tried to put you out there, and then she says, well, I won't give him no pussy.
Well, that'd be kind of tripped out. But had she said that and I had the chance to respond, I would have been like, pussy. If this how you do your kid that ain't mine, we ain't fucking. Because the chances of getting somebody pregnant is always 50-50.
Always.
You rolling the dice. So I'm cool. You can keep the pussy. Because everything else you showed me don't fit.
So that probably won't
That
fit.
part ain't gonna fit. We might as well not even start that. That's just me.
Now, this is a real scenario that we talking about. It was a young lady, she was on somebody's podcast, and she put out this same scenario where she said, this is the first date with her and this dude.
Wow.
And she wasn't ready. She didn't have a child ready. He shows up. She didn't cook her child's food. She asked him to take her and her baby to McDonald's, which is why you feeding your child McDonald's? I don't know why. Cause that's a strike for me. You feeding your child McDonald's. It's a child. It's a growing child. You need to have the healthiest food it can. Then I'm meeting your child for the very first time. On the very first date, I'm meeting your child. You don't know me. I don't know you. But you're introducing your child to me, which is definitely a red flag for me. Then you get in my car with your child. You ask me to take you to McDonald's. I take you to McDonald's. You tell me what to order. I order the food. We go to the drive-up window, and then you want me to pay for your irresponsibility. Now, the child is innocent. The child don't have nothing to do with this. I would feed a child. I don't have a problem with feeding the child. But it's the mama I got a problem with. The mama has shown me everything on date 1. This is the pre-date. We didn't got to the date part.
Game ain't started.
That game ain't even started. This is the pre-game. And you done showed me that you are irresponsible on so many levels that as soon as I drop you off, I'll be like, nah, sweetheart, we can't go out. This is not, you ain't what I thought you were.
So as soon as you taking the kid back, wherever the kid's going, you're going to leave her too?
Like, you got to go there too. That's how I am.
I understand.
I'm a grown man. I don't deal with children. And those are 2 children. One just happened to be older than the other. Those are 2 children.
Hey.
And then for her to say, oh, I'm not giving no pussy.
Wow.
Like, if McDonald's was all it took to get some ass, I don't want that shit anyway. This is ridiculous.
Imagine what he would have gotten had he taken her to Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Yeah.
What did Corey Holcomb say? I heard about this place.
Crying and shit. But I can get an extra
I heard about this place.
You must be a baller. It's funny, but it ain't. Come on, man.
You must be a baller.
She on the phone texting her girl. I'm with a big baller. I get to bring biscuits home, girl. God damn, girl. Just
so look.
Okay. That's crazy though.
This is that is a. I'll be like, these scenarios do not happen in real life. They just don't. But it keeps showing me it do. These scenarios happen all the time, and I'll be wondering like, where did she get the mindset that he's entitled to do anything for her? Now, granted, if he asks her out, he's supposed to pay.
I agree.
If he asked her out, he's supposed to pay for that meal.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. You better keep your own money with you just in case that dude flipped the script on you. Better keep your own money too.
But you should, I think in the beginning you should have some kind of an understanding. So if you're going on a date, all that should be discussed. You know, we're going out, okay, such and such, such. What are we doing? Are we going Dutch? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. You know, and I say that because it's you know, things are different now. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people want to stay, hey, let's keep it separate until we realize what we mean to each other, then we bring it together. Mm-hmm. Or some people are old school, some women are independent. You know, you see what I'm saying? There's so much going on now that you have to verbally be like, hey, what are we doing? Let's lay the rules on the table. First date, oh, I'm paying for it. I have no problem with that, like you said. But when you show me all of the pre-meals, I mean the stuff that shouldn't be there before we even get to know each other. Mm-hmm. But if you're paying attention, you be like, okay, strike 1, 2, and 3, and 4. It's only 3 strikes in baseball. She got 4 strikes.
She had 5 with me.
Really, with the coochie part, yeah.
Oh, that's 6. Because if McDonald's is all it takes to get some ass, I swear that I don't want that.
Wow.
I don't want it at all. Because she was trying to cry. He didn't even buy my daughter the food. Like, he's taking you out, not you and your daughter. But okay, granted. But you ain't looking at nothing you did incorrect.
Yeah.
She felt like she felt like she was innocent in the whole situation.
Yeah, but it says a lot about her personality. You shouldn't even be online. You said she went on and talked about. Why would you even go in there and talk? I wouldn't have said that. I would have been so embarrassed. Like everything about that whole situation was wrong on the female part, in my opinion. So then you go online and try to clown a man because he didn't want to pay for your daughter's food.
And he did a service by taking you to McDonald's. Yeah. He was doing good right there. He didn't owe you that. But it's a shorty. When children are involved, man, you gotta they can't take care of themselves. So he was looking out just on that. But you wasn't ready. You didn't even have nothing for your child. He was gracious enough to take you and your child to McDonald's. I mean, like, what else do you want somebody to do? That's not his daughter. Yeah. Where was the daughter's father at?
You ain't gotta ask that question because if she think,
where was the daughter's father at? Why is it the father watching the child? Why isn't the father watching the child?
Hey.
I mean, hopefully he's still alive.
I see what you're saying, but hey.
But if he ain't, why you going out on a date and not spending time with your child? Obviously, you ain't ready for that.
Mm. And even if maybe she's ready for it, but just the planning in itself is just bad. With the baby should never be meeting the guy. Absolutely. And then whoever gonna babysit the kid, even if you didn't have nothing prepared, he shouldn't be taking that kid. The kid should already be where the kid is going, or who's ever gonna babysit the kid should already be in the house. Mm-hmm. But for me, I wouldn't have done it. Oh, I wouldn't have. Hell no. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be as accurate as I could be, knowing how I think and operate. I probably would have did what you said when I was taking the kid, wherever the kid was going. I probably would have wanted to leave her there too. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, ain't no need for me starting it. Just, if this is how it is on the first date.
Like she not ready. She not mature enough to handle being with a man. And see, this goes to, this is some 400D shit. This is why we losing. We are still looking for someone to be a parent instead of learning how to develop to be a partner. Relationships are about partnerships. It's about, I bring something to the table, you bring something to the table, and we build with what we have, and we build it up together. That's partnership. That's offense. That's us making each other's life better. When you get and it's attract from me, that's parenting. That's 100% parenting. No one owes a grown person nothing. But this is why we losing as a people, because we don't understand the value of other people in our life. If she really seen his value, she would have never said the shit she said. Talking about he ain't getting no ass. Like, is that all you had to offer? Because I'm gonna say this, in women, men will take, men, I ain't talking about males, men will take the ass. But that's not all we want. We want way more than that. But that's all you have to give, we will take it. We will take it. But we want more. A man wants more. A man wants someone he can build with. A man wants a woman who he can see a future with and see how they plan together, and they like, all right, we're going to do this step, and then we're going to do this step, and then we're going to do this step, we're going to do this step. Now, women, I know it's not a lot of men out here like that. It's not. It's a lot of males. It's a lot of people who got the physical stature, they got the age.
The costume.
They got the costume on. Yeah. It's Halloween every day. But they don't have the maturity. They don't have the mindset for that. Because you know why? A lot of them still thinking with their demo. And if they're thinking with their demo, it's hard to build with somebody like that.
I think you kind of, because black people, we have so much flavor, which is what we started off saying. Yeah. Sometimes it's just hard for people to get past the physical. Yeah. So if somebody's got your desired look, because we all have a look that we love. Like, you done seen somebody like, oh man, she gorgeous. Yeah. You done heard a woman be like, girl, there go Denzel. So you have an automatic like in you. And most of the time, most people's automatic likes are not the same. Right. That's why I never crown people for girl. Some small guys like big women, some big women like small, vice versa. So you don't. There's a certain something in all of us that you can't control. So some people have not mastered themselves when it comes to stuff like that. So like, we're talking about her not to clown her, but there's some areas in her system, which is her whole makeup, that she has not mastered. Like you said, being prepared. This is a first date. What if my man is the perfect guy for her, but she just kind of blew it and he looking like, damn, I shouldn't have met your kid, because I would think that. Yep. I'm a parent. I'm not, and I have a son. I'm not showing my son the girls when my son was a kid, unless I knew there was something serious about me and the girl. No, my son was over here. They know I'm a father, and we gonna get to know each other. And based on how we get to know each other, then you may see my son. If it ain't what it needs to be, I'm not parading all these girls in front of my son. Some men do that because they think it's macho. I'm the opposite. Got too much respect. I gotta protect that kid, so that's what I did.
Absolutely, and you're supposed to protect children. Yeah. You don't know this person's real character. Yeah. You don't know them. Especially if you ain't spend enough time with them. These dudes be moving in with chicks, and only thing they try to do is avoid wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't got nowhere to stay.
Yeah, but you get some of that. You get some of that. This game is cold-blooded, dog. And by the way, sometimes women got the place because depending on your situation, you may get yours through the system because you got special housing, meaning you pay $80 a month for rent. But because of where you work, you need a guy that got a little bit more money. So now he paying you because you playing the game too. You in it for the money. So my man come over here, he buying you $1,200 purses and stuff. I mean, but that's part of it. Sometimes everybody bring a little bullshit to the table.
Everybody brings some
Right, so
BS.
we're not, and I'm definitely not trying to clown a lady. It's just that us as people, sometimes, man, we got to admit the things that we need to grow up in.
Okay, now think about that. T.I. said something that offended a bunch of people.
I like T.I. What did he say?
T.I. said that, more men, not males, more men need to spend thought prevention hours with their daughters. And the feminists in the world got upset because he used the word thought. Not saying that he's being a man with his daughter. He's saying, I don't want my daughter to be a thought, aka a hoe. I don't want my daughter out here doing shit that's not becoming of a woman. Now, when some of the feminists are saying that, well, who is a man to define what a woman is? Someone who's upstanding, someone who has respect for themselves, someone who's living a purpose and doing, keeping themselves level-headed and shit like that.
What's up with this team shit, man? With this feminist shit? I mean,
hey, man,
of course I could describe what a woman is. You know what I'm saying? Because all of my life I've been liking women. So we act like not men can't say stuff like that, for example. I have no problem with what he said before you start saying the last part. When you said what thought prevention hour, immediately I get it. Instead of calling her a hoe prevention hour. You prefer they say that?
But see, they don't want to hear those terms. That's them being them.
Yeah, but you don't want to hear what you don't want to hear, but he's trying to prevent it. He just used the word that's floating out here in the universe.
Exactly.
People heard of the word thought. People heard of the word hoe. There's some hoes out here.
There's hoes
So
out here.
again, there are seriously some hoes out here.
Yes.
I don't have a daughter, but if I did, I'd try my best to keep my daughter off that bullshit.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, baby, let me tell you how to operate, how to think, so you can understand how men look at you. So when you walk in the room and your energy is saying this, and when you speak, they can tell, well, okay, she kind of different. Ladies, we can read some of that shit. We really can. You also can tell when she ain't on that shit. She on some bullshit. Like, okay, oh, she coming in on that bullshit. I'm going to treat her like she presenting herself. You get a lot of that. But if you know how the game go, man, you'll be like, I'm not trying to be no thought. And a lot of men, he got a daughter, so he's trying to prevent his daughter from being on that team. You don't want on the thought team?
But see, the thing is this though, bro. Let me tell the story first. So, 2 years ago, I was on Facebook, and I had never heard of this thing called slut walk.
Okay.
So, I thought it was just some made up shit. I didn't know it was a real thing. And so I like slut walking, like, what the hell is this? And so I'm clowning it, right? Man, I had all these feminists converge on my Facebook page about what I said. And they were going in on me. We're tired of men trying to tell us what we can't be and everything. If we want to be sluts, we want to be sluts.
Wow.
I said, okay, cool. I got one question for everyone who just responded. Do you want your daughter to be in porn? Do you want your daughter to be a slut? Crickets. 100% crickets. Nobody responded to that. Nobody. Because you know why? You don't want that for your child. No one wants to see their child out there bad like that.
Yeah.
No one.
And ladies, let me say this too. I have no problem with women. You do what you want to do on the
do what
planet.
you want to do.
I love it. But you gotta quit getting mad. An example, he's gonna agree with this. I can tell you he's gonna agree with it before I even say this shit. If I was in the room and I heard women talking about there's some dog ass men that ain't shit out here, I'd be sitting over there just like this. Yeah, she telling the truth.
It's the truth.
But she ain't talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Now, didn't nobody say, hey, y'all over there. Hey, y'all you hoes over there. So if somebody's talking in general, why do you feel like they're talking to you? Now, if they point you out, you got a right to come and get on my man and tell him off and curse him out.
Absolutely.
But when somebody's just talking, just basic conversation, hey man, there's some hoes out here.
There's some hoes.
And then you over here get offended, like, why you? I heard Dick Gregory say this a couple of times when he's been doing these talking engagements. Well, he was talking about women getting mad about being called a hoe. You're like, but I'm not talking about, you know, every woman. If somebody bring up the word hoe. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if he came in the room and said, with all the hoes in here raise their hands, I think that's how he said, hey, all the hoes in here raise your hand. If you ain't a hoe, you ain't gonna raise your hand. So you ain't gonna be like, oh, you gonna start looking around like, right, who for the hoes? Like, who's looking for right, so sometimes when men are making these comments, like, and I know T.I. don't need me to defend him, that's kind of like what he's saying. He ain't talking about any particular woman. We know that there's some women that do some stuff out here that kind of they're not even really proud of. And if they doing it, they ain't broadcasting like you would broadcast, I just won the lotto. So it's some things that you're not gonna be proud of. So let me try to prevent my daughter from joining that team. That's all he's saying.
That's all he was saying.
So I mean, sometimes people get in their feelings about it. I get it, but you're not talking about every woman, because I believe in women. Get what you get, baby. I'm cool with it. Get it. Yeah, I mean, we got to quit the separation like it's us against y'all. And the reason why I say this is because without a man, you're not going to be here.
Nope.
Without a woman, I'm not going to be here. So why would I clown what it takes for me to be here? That's why sometimes when men hear some of that stuff, we be like, we frown up because you acting like men shouldn't be here. If it's not a man here, you wouldn't be here.
They don't believe that.
But we need each other. That's basically what I'm saying. We need each other. So we need to quit getting mad at each other when somebody just say something. And you're not talking about every woman or every man on the planet when somebody's talking about a particular topic.
You know, my girl just put me on this. She told me that the feminists have put an X where if you spell the word woman, W-O-M, they now have an X where the A is at or where the E is at, because they don't want it to be man associated with woman. But if you're still saying the word woman or women, man is still in the word.
And woman's in the word.
And men is still in the word of women. So I don't see what the issue is, man. It's like y'all are taking this shit way too far. Y'all are too deep. And you know what happens when you get too deep? You start drowning. You can't find your way back to the surface.
Can't get out, yeah.
So I would implore all you young feminists out there, reevaluate this philosophy y'all have.
Wow.
You cannot be here without a man. You are swimming in the way your father's testicles are at before you go to the eggs of your mother. Now, granted, all embryos and everything start off female. Science has proven that. I have no problem with that. I love women. I just don't like thoughts, hoes, and bitches. I just don't. I'm not a fan of them. That don't mean I can't like the individual as a person. I'm just not a fan of that behavior.
Well, let me say this to make people feel a little bit comfortable. If you were offended by what he just said, which I don't think you should. Like he said, he don't like thoughts, hoes, and bitches. Most women don't like trifling, dog-ass, nutting-ass motherfuckers.
True.
See what I'm saying? So when I hear women say that, I done been around women and they saying that. I be like, yeah, she telling the truth. Yeah, there's some dog-ass men. I be like, yeah, that's true.
Right. And you know what? I don't like them men either. Yeah. I don't associate with them type of people. Not saying we can't find a common ground on something else. Yeah. But your philosophy for women is no, man. I don't subscribe to that. Right. I'm in agreement with you. Right. You know, like I'm pro woman. Yeah. I'm anti thought. I'm anti hoe, and I'm anti bitch. I'm pro woman and lady. Those are not the same to me.
No, they're not.
Because it's a maturity level there that the thought, the hoe, and the bitch don't have. The thought and the hoe and the bitch will use their physical bodies to get whatever they want. The woman and the lady will do. They may use their physical body, but they have a level of maturity.
Well, everything with balance, they're gonna do both. They're gonna use the mental as well. Versus the thought, she's probably just gonna focus on that body because she feels that she's the only one with a body.
So that brings us to another topic, because this is the 400D TV. we playing offense over here. We ain't playing defense. We playing offense, and offense is guaranteed to be offensive. So the United States government has just passed the stimulus. Now, I think it was last February or March. It was March, or maybe it was April, somewhere like that. They gave the United States public $1,200, right?
Yeah.
And this time, they've decided that for a whole year, they're going to give people $600. Now, granted, I'm not one for a handout. That ain't my style. I'd rather go work and get what I want. $600 ain't gonna change my life anyway, so it don't mean that much to me. But for those people who really, really need it, what is $600 gonna do? The government has really showed their hand, and I would implore all the people listening to this podcast, man, if you got something that you really believe in inside of you better start doing it, because your government don't care about you. They just don't. They just proved it. You got other countries who are poorer than the United States. I'm gonna read some of them off for y'all real quick, just so y'all can know. I ain't making this up. This when I seen this, I was like, this is ridiculous. Stimulus relief fund for Australia, $1,993 a month. Stimulus relief fund for Canada.
Wait a minute. A month.
A month.
Not one shot and over. This is a month.
Stimulus relief fund for Canada, $1,433 a month. Stimulus relief fund for Denmark, up to $3,288 a month. Stimulus relief fund for Germany, up to $7,326.78 a month. Stimulus refund for Ireland, up to $1,793.44 a month. Stimulus refund for the UK, up to $3,084 a month. Stimulus refund for the United States, $1,200 for the last 32 weeks.
One shot. Hey man, it go back to what we're saying about just how stuff is. We've talked about this prior to what we're talking about today.
Goodness.
How our system is. Man, it's amazing how people eat their life. You've been told that America's number one. America's number one. When you just hear, and then you heard what he read off, you could probably find what he read off. To see that, man, maybe we're not number one.
Maybe we ain't.
Maybe we ain't. We pay for education. I hear these stories back in the day when people used to go to college for free. I know Judge Joe Brown always tell the story when he was at UCLA, they were going to UCLA for free. Of course, this was back in the 60s, but it was free.
But even up into the middle 70s, there was no such thing as college debt.
I agree.
No such thing.
Again, so how you in first place when you start off losing? Even if you try to get a higher education, you come out of college, you owing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, some people $90,000 in school debt. And then the first job you're probably going to get is probably not going to be the job you went to school for.
No. And it's you're putting yourself in a deficit whenever we start our adult life in debt. You're trying to climb out of a hole and you just started life. And you're trying to climb out of a hole. I know I paid off my student debt. That's why I hope they don't pass that shit, clear all that shit up for nobody else. I paid my shit. Y'all need to pay y'all's. That's your responsibility. However, I will say this. Again, if you got something on the inside of you that you really believe in, you better go for it, because they are starting to phase jobs out. And you better get on the offense. You better put value into the world so that the world can recognize the value, because anything that's valuable, people will pay for. I don't care what it is. You gotta get on the offensive.
Yeah, but you know, we've been on the defense for so long. I mean, it's difficult for people just to shake it off. You're gonna have a different conversation with somebody or some people, because what you're doing is giving you what you got.
Right.
So if you want some different things, you got to apply some different methods, man.
And I'm telling y'all, it's got to be all action based. It's got to be all action based. Look, as someone who has been struggling as an entrepreneur, I can tell you 100% it does pay off. But you can't think too much. You have to let your actions tell you how to think. because the more action you take, the less thinking you do, you'll see more positive results. And those results would influence your mind and be like, okay, all right, okay, this worked, this didn't work. So let me try another avenue to add on to that which did work. And then now those results are influencing your thinking versus your thinking before you even get to a result. Let the results influence the thinking. I'm telling you, as a person who did it in reverse, it don't work. Let your actions lead to your results, and your results influence the thoughts that you should take in order to improve upon those results. Because eventually you will get to that which you are looking for. I promise you, you will. Yeah. But if you stop, everything else stops.
Yeah,
everything stops.
But we got to start having some different conversation, because some people don't even know how to start their process off. And I know, because I hear people say it a lot to me, like, man, I don't even know how to start thinking of a good idea, because most people don't think, because most people are told what to do, so they just do what they're told, as opposed to using this or trying to be creative, because a lot of us have turned that creative side in us off, because it's too much work. I don't feel like thinking. You have to think. You have to try to, and when you sit down with your crew, if you're just talking about bullshit, it's going to show, because it's going to show in your lifestyle. You have to start talking about stuff that can produce something that you never had before, to get some of the stuff that you've always wanted.
You just had a key word. You said think, right? Let me tell y'all, I'm not really a political guy, but I can definitely say this. Whenever your political system is giving you something, that shuts down your thinking. 100%. If the government is every month giving you something that you didn't earn, every time they give you something, the less thinking you do. There's a saying that goes, if you can think, you can save yourself. And thinking will bring about creativity. Creativity will create value. Value means other people can see something that they want from it. And then you learn how to sell that value to those people who want it. The issue is, when you're being given something, you're being put on the defense. Something you didn't earn puts you on the defense. And that's why you're losing. That's why we are losing. Because this $600 and this $1,200 that they gave us, I know people who are anticipating, they've been waiting on this next paycheck for the last, 6-7 months. And I'm like, wow, why don't you just go out and create for yourself?
But Lynn, you also talked about a problem. I just got through saying this 2 minutes ago. Maybe we're not number one. I mean, you got to think about the setup. Everything you're saying, I agree with. But when you're not taught how to get down, you're gonna stay down and be down, because you're not taught how to generate or think. Everything about it starts with the thinking. So if I tell you how to think or what to think about, you gotta. What year did Christopher Columbus discover America? Again, what the fuck they got to do with us in 2020?
Got nothing to do with us.
And look, first of all, it didn't happen. And second, why we still learning about some shit that didn't happen? So now you fast forward to 2020, a lot of stuff is messed up because of what you taught. We're being taught some shit that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But how do you use information that Christopher Columbus discovered America, even though he did? See what I'm saying? So a lot of times you're set up through your system to lose, and then when you're losing, you got to go back to the people that taught you how to lose, and then they tell you they don't want to help you out.
That's why you got to educate yourself outside of the system. You got to go on that journey. Look, everybody keep telling me everybody can't be an entrepreneur. That's a damn lie. If you got an idea in your head, because everybody gets ideas in their head, and you work on it, hell, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, let me break down what an entrepreneur is outside the traditional definition of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who is a problem solver. That's all they are. Who is willing to invest in themselves through their time and their money and other people's money to bring that idea that solves that problem into the marketplace. That's really what an entrepreneur is. And the more problems you solve, the more valuable you are. That's really the basic breakdown of what an entrepreneur is. So everybody chasing the bag, fuck chasing the bag, Chase the opportunity that leads to the bag by bringing something valuable to the marketplace. That's playing offense. That changes how we think. Because when you recognize that, man, you know how much value I got? How many problems I'm solving? Now you can hire more people. Now you can utilize you can employ more people, you utilize more time, and you create more value for other people, because now you're doing more for more people. You're becoming a servant. And that's what's wrong. We keep playing defense because we want a handout. And that's why we losing. You can't win without thinking. You can't win without taking action. You can't win without rearranging the results. We just can't win that way. We got to get on the offense. And I know a lot of people who are listening, if you're still watching, this may sound offensive, and it's supposed to. Get off your lazy ass and get shit done. And on that note, we want to thank y'all for watching 400D TV. If I haven't already said it before, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. Share this with people who you think need to hear it. Plus, leave a comment. I'm Tez.
Big Marv.
We want to thank y'all for watching again.
Yeah.
We're not ending on a somber note, but we need to be on offense. We really do. Because it's getting horrible. $600 a month. I mean, $600, it went from 12 to 600. And we just read off what other countries are doing for their people. And they're supposed to be the greatest country on planet Earth. And you see how they're treating their people. It's not. I don't care what nobody say. It can't be the greatest country. This is how you treat your brother. This is how you treat your people. So with that note, we want to thank y'all again.
Yeah.
And tune in for another great episode coming soon for 400D TV. Thank y'all very much. Deuces.